What's up, everybody? I'm GKB, aka the Governor. Welcome to the Council Corner Sony After Show E3 event. I kind of got some mixed feelings and stuff about what went on here. I know we're going to get into it here in a minute, but I want to go around and introduce the panel real fast before we start jumping into what went on, what we were excited about, what we were not excited about the show. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with SheWulf. How you doing?
Hey, guys.
Wow, that was fast.
Well, might as well, we do. I don't see. We
let's
don't
just get
need
into
to,
it.
Introduce ourselves every single time.
I
That's
guess.
all.
Next up, we got Fox. Next up, we got Newfie. And next up, we have Magic Mike. I think he fixed his mic this time, so he should be good to go. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
What's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you so much for joining us. We got a little bit to talk about. Man, I gotta say, like, overall, I thought Sony's presentation was good. They showed off some fantastic games that I'm hyped for as a PlayStation owner, but I was a bit disappointed. Like, where was Battlefront? Where was Gran Turismo Sports? No release dates whatsoever for most of the games on there. I dinged Microsoft, and I'm going to do the same for Sony. That's utterly bullshit. We've seen these games before. You should know when they're coming out, and we should have release dates for these games. I want to go around and see what you all think about it. Whoever wants to go first, go for it. No audio in the Hangouts?
I can't check audio on this one. So.
Interesting.
Do you hear anybody? Do you hear us?
I think they hear us, like, for sure, but I don't know why they.
Okay, then it's do you hear them?
Here, let's try now, guys. All right, go ahead. Can you guys hear? What are you guys talking?
Somebody talk. No, it's not moving.
Expecting.
YouTube is fucking broke again.
Wow, don't even know what happened there.
But the commercials played just fine, though, right? You know.
Yeah, I think it did. Let me know. We back
Oh,
up,
here we go.
guys.
I don't see anything yet. Mine came back up. But
I'm getting like the old
All good.
stuff.
We're back up.
Yep.
woohoo!
Hey, Newf here.
How's the audio?
It's working, I guess. Everybody says it's working now. Guys, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I think there's too much streaming going on right now. It's broken. YouTube
Everybody
is
in
broken.
the world is talking right now.
All right, and we're back, and
And
they
we're
can hear
back.
us. Awesome.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Here we go.
Broken, guys.
So, welcome everybody again. This is the Console Corner Sony After Show. Sorry for whatever happened there with YouTube, guys. But we're gonna get right back into it. Yeah. So, like I was saying, I think I was pretty overall excited about the show. They showed a bunch of stuff. I wouldn't say a bunch of stuff, but they showed some good stuff. And then after looking back on it, I was kind of disappointed. Like I said, no release dates. I was not happy about that with Microsoft, and I'm not happy about that with Sony. And where's your other big titles that you're paying a shit ton of money for marketing for? Where's Battlefront? Why didn't we see any campaign of that? Where's Gran Turismo Sports, another big game that's supposedly coming out this year? Why did we not see that? I was a bit confused and stuff like that. So I think Newf, you were gonna go ahead and talk about Sony.
Yeah, man, it's all good. I guess I can go first on this. Boy, I don't know how to feel with this one. Like, it wasn't a cut and dried press conference by Sony. I mean, first off, Sean Layden finally came out to his credit and actually wore a shirt that was fitting well this time. Looking sharp, that guy, trying to pull off the Jack Tretton. But kicking it off, I called it. I said they would start with the new Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which is looking fantastic, by the way, from the graphics we've seen in it. I assume that most of these games are probably running on the Pro, although I didn't recall seeing any graphical information in the corners of the screens to say it was necessarily so. But either which way, looking good. But again, the big surprises here are not so much what we saw, it's what we didn't see, because a lot of the games we saw before, only now we saw the gameplay. I gotta say, Days Gone looked fucking amazing. That might be the one big game from the show that I'm still super excited for. Unfortunately, again, no release date. Gran Turismo Sport, surprisingly missing of all the lineup. I don't understand why that one is not there,
Right?
unless somebody's running away from Forza right now, which makes their game look more susceptible all the time. I mean, Sony fans have got to be asking, guys, what's the deal with this game? And beyond that, I mean, the Monster Hunter game looked interesting and really cool. That was kind of a surprise, but everything else was pretty much, like I said, it's just the standard stuff that we've seen before. Spider-Man did look fantastic, and again, that's 2018. God of War looking good, but that's sometime in 2018. Well, like we said, and then didn't drop the PlayStation 4 Pro price, which we kind of suspected they might, but I think based on Xbox reaction to go $499, I think Sony maybe just took a wait and see and said, hey, we'll just go accordingly. So I don't know, PlayStation VR, there was nothing there that blew my mind. I mean, Skyrim has tons of potential, but that game has been done to death. So I'm not even interested in going back to it. If I get that version at all, it's going to be on the Switch. At least it's portable. So yeah, I don't really know. It didn't blow me away. I thought it was really solid. And again, we saw a lot of third-person action games in the vein of Horizon Zero Dawn and The Last of Us. And speaking of, we didn't even see The Last of Us. So, there was lots for Sony fans to be excited about, but I got to say it was equally just as much not to be excited about. That's my take on the show. I definitely think Microsoft's was stronger overall. I'm going to have to give Sony's about a 7.
Interesting. Anybody else want to go next?
I don't know. I think.
Oh, yeah.
We kind of covered everything.
Well, Newf did cover a broad spectrum of things there. What I want to do with Sony here is give them what I call the compliment sandwich. And that's where, you give them 2 positive things with the negative thing in between. So positive things here. The gameplay that we saw looked amazing. The new gameplay that we saw for God of War, for Spider-Man, Days Gone, all that stuff really did look great. I'm glad that we got to see more gameplay of it, and I'm glad that what we got to see actually looked like gameplay and not the pre-rendered stuff that we saw last year. Now, as far as the bad stuff, I wasn't really blown away by anything. Some stuff looked really good, and I really had a lot more expectations for this. And I guess, GKB, you're always saying keep the expectations in check.
Yeah, man.
With Sony, though, I just expected so much more. I really thought that there was going to be a lot of great stuff, and I really thought that this was going to be the year that I bought the PS4, because I thought there were going to be a lot of great games coming out this year. And the one big takeaway that I got from this conference is, if I don't have a PS4 right now, I don't need a PS4 this year. I can get the Xbox One X. I can get the PS4 next year because Spider-Man, God of War, all these games that we saw, these are 2018 games. Like Newf said, where was Gran Turismo? That game's supposed to be coming out. I can't believe that wasn't showcased. I know a lot of people are saying that it was in the pre-show. It was like in the stuff that they were doing before their actual conference started. But come on, guys, this is E3.
Yeah.
You put your big guns in the conference. You put your stuff that's coming out soon in the conference, not show. It doesn't give you a lot of confidence in the product. I guess that just like, I don't know. It was very underwhelming. But on the plus side, we did see some new VR stuff, and I've been saying for the last couple of days here that what Sony needs to do with VR is show us more like full games with it.
Yeah, they showed Skyrim.
Right, they showed Skyrim. They showed what was that?
That creepy like
Superhot?
Asylum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Asylum game. But like, you know, all these games, they don't look like VR experiences. They look like VR games. They showed that one. It was like a side-scrolling indie game that has some sort of VR implementation. So I'm interested to see what that's going to be. But they're showing us games, not experiences, and that's what VR needs to do. There was also, what was it? There was another one that was I remember butterflies, and they were like kind of in some. Yeah, the mouse one.
Yeah,
so
Moss.
They showed us more traditional games, which I want to see in VR. You know, the experiences have been cool, but I think VR needs to move into more of a full game type of environment for me to get on board with it. So, you know, I'm happy to see the VR stuff. I'm happy to see the gameplay that we got, but overall, just underwhelming.
Yeah.
Me, like, personally, like, one, where was The Last of Us 2? Second, where was the new Sucker Punch IP that we were supposed to hear about? Like, there's literally...
Yeah, Sucker Punch is working on the game. Where is it?
There's literally no more conferences, so there's no other place they're going to show it. So where was this game? And then, also, where was Kingdom Hearts 3? We got more details about that game, but yet you guys didn't show it. Hellblade, that game's actually supposed to be releasing
in August,
and we still have not, like, unless they showed in the show pre-show. But if you're going to show something in the pre-show, not everybody watches that. Like, seriously.
I didn't see it there.
I didn't see.
I honestly think they showed more games in the pre-show. Sorry to cut you out there, SheWulf. In the pre-show than they did in their entire conference. Like, it's crazy. Like,
last year they showed more games than they did this year. Now, don't get me wrong. The games that they did show, I was really happy to see Detroit. I'm going to buy that game because it looks amazing. Days Gone, that's definitely a day one buy.
Absolutely.
I love that game. That game looks absolutely outstanding. Like, Spider-Man, I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, but that's still one that, you know, GKB is probably going to play, and I'll end up watching it because it looks amazing. The games looked amazing, but they finished shorter than an hour, like just short of an hour, which was a little surprising. And then the fact that there was no real release dates. We only got, like, what, 2 out of everything? And
then others was like early 2018.
You're big, they were all, I mean, like, this year. Like, all the other ones are in 18, and we don't even know that. A lot of games that release in 2018 tend to get delayed or anything else like that. But 2 of your biggest games, Detroit and Days Gone, that look like they're finished, didn't even get a 2018.
Yeah, they didn't even get anything. That was weird.
Now, we hated Microsoft for not giving us dates, and Sony, you're not any better. Like, where are the dates for all of these games? I don't care what conference it is. So far, overall, Bethesda, you're the only one that I'm pleased with because, once again, release dates.
Yeah, and we're playing them, like, in a couple of months, for sure.
Yeah, they're all coming out this year, they said.
What about you, Foxy?
Oh, wow. Okay, so I agree with you guys on a lot of your points. I was mad disappointed. I expected a lot more than what they showed. And yes, I agree. They did show a lot of good games, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to play them. And yeah, it's cool that they showed, like, Marvel vs. Capcom and Destiny. Even Call of Poopy was in there, so that was awesome. So those are the ones that looked really good to me. Other than that, like, Detroit looked more interesting. I don't know when that's coming out. Spider-Man, amazing. I'm getting that next year, apparently. And so Uncharted. I like how they started the show with Uncharted, so that was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. No, because they already know, like, they showed it off last year, so they're like, well, we might as well show a little bit more, something different, and then move on to the other stuff. Because they actually showed a lot of VR stuff. I think they showed more VR this year than they did last year. So yeah, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
And I was kind of left wondering what happened to Ace Combat, what happened to Gran
Ace Combat.
Turismo. Yeah, these games are kind of like MIA at the minute, and the ones that we did see that they did look nice, I don't know when they're coming out. And yeah, that is also disappointing to see that from Xbox as well. So on both camps, I need some release dates, and that's one of the top things that I've always asked for when I like do my own wish list videos and stuff. I want to see release dates, and they didn't deliver on that aspect of it. And yeah, I do not care about VR. So for me, that whole section was useless. I don't care about freaking fishing. I really don't. I'm not planning to even try a VR. I think I tried one before and I didn't like it. But I'm not planning to buy that in the future at all. So I'm just happy with some of the people that are going to get like Shadow of the Colossus next year in the beginning of the year, because some of them did say early next year, so that's nice, I guess. They're going to be competing with like CFDs and stuff like that. So it's just a bit disappointing, and I agree with you guys a lot. I don't know, it was okay.
Yeah,
Monster Hunter was a great game. I'm glad to see that, but that's also coming to the Xbox. Then you have, of course, like you said, Shadow of the Colossus. That game looks amazing. It was great to see that game in there.
Remake, really nice.
But at the same time, it's just, I don't know. It almost left you wondering. And I was don't get me wrong, everyone. I know we're probably going to get hate for some of, like, seeming like we're hating, but we actually, most of us went into this super excited to see Sony's
we were going to
show.
see some, like awesome games.
We were excited. Now, Destiny, damn, don't get me, like, that I was happy with. I was really happy with that Destiny,
got to see the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Destiny. I was just wondering what happened to the beta. Why can't you tell me when the beta's coming out?
Exactly.
Damn it! Now we have to wait for like Bungie to release like on Twitter or something.
Yeah, like the opening to Sony's like conference was like really cool too. They had like this cool band playing. We kind of got the Uncharted feel, and we're like, all right, so we're gonna see Uncharted.
And you got to see Horizon, so that's even
Horizon,
cool that you got some DLC for this year.
DLC for that's cool because Horizon Zero Dawn's a really good game. So we got to see Uncharted. And then it went on, and they were showing, some really good game after game after game. But again, no release dates. This was only a 60-minute show. I think they left out a lot of their really good games. I am also not interested in VR, but I thought some of the stuff that they did show was actually really good and more of like a push more towards VR than these other experiences, like Mike was saying. Like they're actually full games in there, which is good because that's where you want it to go. If you want it to take off for sure, you need some of these really good games in there. And we got to see the games. Like I think Days Gone looked fantastic. Monster Hunter looked fantastic. I think that's the best Monster Hunter I've ever seen.
Yep, agreed.
God of War looked great. Yep. The Shadow of the Colossus remake. We heard about this before the show started, and I was worried because I was like, oh, it's probably just going to be like a remaster or something like that. But no, they went back and really did a full remake on that game, and it looks phenomenal. And I'm definitely going to pick that up. But again, not coming out this year. I don't know why a remake would not be coming out this year if you're going to show it.
That would make sense.
Yeah. And then, we saw COD, which is great. We know that's coming out. Spider-Man, again, should be out this year. That game looks like it's fucking finished. Why is it not coming out this year? Or why are we not getting a date on it? Detroit, you've been showing this for year after year after year. That game needs to come out, guys. But
Sony. It is looking better every time, though. I'll give them that.
I give them that. And they showed a lot more. They showed a lot.
So what happened? Some of these games now missed their early 2018 release date. What, we see them now at E3 2018? Like, what's the deal, right?
I don't want to see them anymore. I just want them to come out.
You know what I also thought was kind of neat? They did the Days Gone thing and then had the zombies hanging from the ceiling. But they literally, I'm assuming that obviously was effect for the people.
Yeah, it was effect. It was like a good showpiece.
I would have liked to have actually seen them actually show that a little bit more because I thought that was kind of neat to put that into the show like that. But again, though,
I guess it's something. I mean, Microsoft had a freaking Porsche, but whatever, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be entertaining for the people there in the crowd. I think.
Yeah,
it's just,
and I just want to say, for the record, I still think Anthem stole best graphics of the show, hands down. I think
Anthem, should be the game of the show, absolutely.
I do have to agree that the zombies hanging out of the ceiling was pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that was a cool little effect.
Days Gone looked finished, but yet we didn't even get a 2018, which was pretty disappointing.
That one should have came out this year for sure, I think.
Actually, Mike, I just received word that the zombies hanging out of the ceiling are actually developers from Polyphony.
Oh, it's
wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Cold-blooded.
That's what happens. They don't make their deadline.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Sony's putting all this like money into these big third parties, but literally no Battlefront. Like, all EA showed off was multiplayer. How come we're not seeing any of the campaign stuff on Sony's stage? Why was that not there? Like, come on, you're paying.
That was
for
really
this.
shocking.
Yeah, it's really shocking.
What are
Again,
they
Gran
saving that
Turismo.
for?
I don't know. Like, it was super shocking. If I'm putting fucking millions of dollars into a game, you're damn sure it's gonna be on my fucking
You
show
figured
floor.
they would have also, like, I understand they said Red Dead wasn't going to be there, but I thought because Red Dead wasn't going to be there, there was going to be so much more that they would have to cover it. You should have just put Red Dead in there. Like,
Yeah, I
That-
mean,
that was-
Knack 2, where the hell was that? Like, that's still another
they
game
showed
that they
that.
could have showed off.
They showed it in a pre-show, that one. It was okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
There's nothing special.
if Sony, if your like thing is 60 minutes and you only have a few games to show, you might want to throw all these other games in there. Like,
Well,
I'm just
and
saying.
What happened to Ace Combat? Like, why not
Yeah,
throw
Ace
that
Combat.
into your VR showcase? Like, I mean, that game is
Yeah.
screaming VR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Very true.
at the end of the day, it was like a super disappointing show. I don't know what Sony was thinking at all. I think they're getting very
Droth
complacent.
says Days Gone and Detroit are looking late 2018 or 2019. That's bad. Like, that is really bad if you're dropping
we don't know,
those
but-
two games. I'm saying if that is the case, that is not good. Those games
Yeah, and
look
some of those
finished.
games didn't even get a year.
Well, and think about this. Every first-party game that we saw isn't coming out until after the PlayStation experience. So this December at the PlayStation experience, we're going to see the same stuff that we saw this year, maybe more gameplay and stuff, but like, what are they going to show us new? All this stuff is still coming out in 2018.
Yeah, and they're also going to Gamescom, like Tokyo Game Show and all these other ones. Like,
Yep.
I don't know what
So
Sony's doing.
Cletus, what was your favorite game of the show, Cletus? Man, the favorite game of the show, it had to be that Final Fantasy 17. Is it 15? The fishing VR game? My
Nope.
God. Did you see
Nope.
that big fish when it jumped out of the water? Its teeth was bigger. They had more teeth in it than my whole freaking block. I swear to God. That game
Oh,
was awesome.
wow.
Hey, Cletus, just think. Now you can actually go fishing without having to fall into the pond.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's awesome. All right, so let's
You
go
guys
ahead.
are
I
too
mean,
much.
I think we like said enough about like what we didn't like about this show. Let's talk about some of the games, and because I think they did show off some really good games, even though we're not playing them anytime soon. It seems like. Again, I think that's a miss, Sony. I don't know what you're doing. But let's go ahead and start with Uncharted Lost Legacy. I thought this game looks fantastic. I like the two female protagonists in this game. I'm a big proponent of having
I
more
wonder
female
if they're gonna
characters.
Make a co-op. Because if so, hey Fox, you want to play?
Hey,
I
SheWulf.
know, right? We got
Right?
this.
Man,
That'd be
a good
cool if
stream.
it's like co-op and you can play the two female.
It should be.
characters.
There's no reason why it shouldn't. I mean, come on. Do you want to play with an AI that doesn't listen and does and dies all the time?
Exactly.
That should be co-op, and we should
Well,
stream
I don't
it.
know. I would probably die all the time too, so I don't know if.
What are
I'm
you
kidding.
talking
I'm
about?
kidding. It's funny, but yeah, like I thought
Yes.
it looked amazing. I love the story that they're going with, and I really hope that when they release it, like I said, it's co-op because
Yeah.
it just seems like that kind of game that you would enjoy better with a friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it looked amazing. I like the videos and the cinematic and the gameplay. I like everything they showed about that, actually.
And I gotta say, one trend I've noticed in video games of recently is that female protagonists and lead characters are really coming on strong. It seems like every game now is getting more and more. We saw that with Wolfenstein. They had some strong characters in there. We saw it with obviously the Uncharted, and you've got strong
man.
female characters in Mass Effect, Andromeda, and
Forza's having
the-
female drivers and stuff like. That's
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
It's
female
'cause
characters
gaming-
coming to Call of Duty, and it's pretty
Horizon.
cool.
Battlefield 1's gonna have
Yeah,
females.
Battlefront 2
Battlefront
is
2,
also
yeah.
Yeah,
main
females, main female character.
You know why?
Ladies are
Because
taking over.
Female gamers, actually, it was like a proven thing that like the statistics was there's actually more female gamers than there is male. They're just not as
Yeah.
known.
Yeah, it's really hard to believe because they're very quiet. But it was like 60-something% more.
Well, some of the
The,
shit that goes
the-
online, I don't blame you guys for being quiet. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
And the Tomb Raider reboot really paved the way for a lot of that too, showing that you can have that strong female protagonist
And people
still
love it.
have be successful.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think Uncharted was a fantastic game. Then they went into Days Gone, which I was excited to see about this because, like I said before, I thought last year it was just like a tech demo, like oh look at all these zombies on the screen and pyrotechnics and all this other kind of stuff. But here we actually got to see some story beats, some mission and stuff, and how you can kind of like almost choose your own way on how to do things. But what the hell were you doing going down a fucking trail with like zombies hanging from the fucking?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't be going in there.
Guys, if you knew there was something you needed down there, you're going to go. Like, come on. And I
Oh
still
shit, SheWulf is more ballsy than GKB, confirmed.
I'm just smart. I'm not going down there. I'm not gonna die.
No, if I know my area and like I know how to take them out, then yeah, like come on, the guy like caught one of the guys in a freaking bear trap.
What the fuck is
Obviously,
up with
he
the creepy
knows
fucking
what
bears
he's
and shit
doing.
all the time? Like,
There's so many creepy bears
It's
this
a
year.
oh my god, I love the zombie wolves. Hello.
oh, zombie wolves are
Zombie
really
wolf.
cool.
Zombie wolves.
Oh, you know what was so awesome about this gameplay? When they showcased using the zombies as a tool rather
Yes,
than just something
like a
like an
gameplay
enemy
element.
in the environment.
Yeah,
Like, it actually impacts the gameplay. That was awesome.
yeah, definitely like World War Z zombies, man. They fucking run at you and shit. Those are terrifying.
I love how they're making this game kind of like Tomb Raider, Uncharted, and Horizon Zero Dawn. I love the style of game, so it's great to see that they're doing a zombie one like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a fantastic game. I think it was a good showpiece.
And I
for sure.
like that they actually, you notice, like when we saw it last year, it was more top down. Like we saw like everything from above and like the big hordes and running around and the guy.
Yeah,
was trying
that's
to
what I was saying.
run-
It's like a very tech demo. Like they were like
Yes.
scripted to go around and showing a
But-
whole bunch of zombies on screen. And
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this time we actually got to see like more of the environment. Like even
Yeah.
the environment itself looked
it's a beautiful
amazing.
game. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a beautiful
So
game.
and we get to see like all the creatures that are also zombies. Now story. Tell me what the hell's going on. Why is everything a zombie?
Yeah, you gotta play the game to find out that for sure.
Well, no, I know. But even like in like
Sometime.
Walking Dead, the animals aren't zombies.
I agree,
so-
Gunstar. The Metro Bear looked fucking way better. Like I agree. That Metro has just got me hooked
That
on
thing
that.
was like a weird transfer
Those
between
rats-
like a
those rat
mole
things
and a
are cool.
bear.
Yeah, them rat things were fucking cool. They're scary too.
It was a were-mole bear.
That's what it looked like. Something like
Well, even those rat creatures in the start of Metro looked absolutely dynamite, didn't they? Like when the door slammed on them, you just like the face and shit. It's
Yeah, the
like, oh,
creepy
Yeah, it
eyes
was
and stuff.
nasty. I remember.
It almost makes it like unfair to compare the One X gameplay to the PS4 stuff. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know. I still think that out of all the animals that we've seen, the best one was the cat key.
What?
The cat monkey.
what?
Oh, the cat monkey.
Oh,
The cat
in,
monkey that was like playing with the
whatchamacallit?
controller. It's
And
now a
Wolfenstein.
cat. It's a cat
Yeah.
key.
Yeah,
Oh, I was like, what?
I was like,
I get it.
It's a
What's
cat
going on?
key. It's
I
a
don't know,
cat
I
and a
don't know.
monkey.
yeah, when it was typing away on the keyboard there.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
Yeah.
a Muncat.
Yeah, monkey.
I like cat key.
I like
Cat key.
Moncat. I like Moncat.
Wow, of course you would, because it's against me.
Boys versus girls, Muncat or Cat Key. Let's go, chat.
Yeah.
One for
Oh my
Muncat.
gosh.
Wow.
So then they moved into Monster Hunter, which again, like I'm gonna reiterate, I thought it was the best fucking looking Monster Hunter like I've ever
Damn,
seen.
giant fucking creatures.
Yeah,
The
like those giant
dinosaurs or whatever?
dinosaurs. And he had a ghillie
Yeah.
suit and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is?
Okay, so
Giant
what
sword.
Monster Hunter? What was the last like sort of next gen console we've seen a game of? Because the only Monster Hunters
Like
I can
Wii?
recall are like on
Is that
3DS or
a
whatever.
Wii U?
Or the DS?
I think there was one on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was Wii U.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they technically haven't looked very good. Like they're good, half decent games, but nothing's really like blowing your mind.
Yeah, not
because they've been on
graphically,
weaker
'cause-
hardware.
Yeah, you're on
Yeah.
3DS and Wii U. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, like I think that was a good move for Monster Hunter, the developers there, to put them on these newer platforms and more powerful platforms, because you could definitely see what they can do with the game from gameplay and graphics perspective. Like I was like, ooh, that actually looks really good. I had to second guess because Mike was like right away. He was like, "Oh, this is Monster Hunter." I'm like, I don't know, man.
They
Like
had
maybe
traits.
because I was like, I'm not used to seeing that like in that kind of a game. What did you guys think of Monster Hunter? I thought it was pretty cool.
It was.
I thought it looked awesome. I mean, I've played a couple of these in the past. Obviously, that's why I jumped on it right away. I was like, oh, yeah, this is Monster Hunter. It's got to be. I'm excited that it's, a confirmed multi-plat game, even though they didn't really mention that. But what I loved was the environmental aspects of it, like where the T-Rex monster thingy was
coming
like
up
chasing you through a
yeah.
tree, and like you set up traps and all kind of stuff like that. Like that was a little bit more in depth than the Monster Hunters I've played in the past. So no, I'm excited to see like what the next gen just graphics engines are going to let them do with the environments and letting you get a more full gameplay experience. And I really, really hope there's some sort of co-op feature to it.
Yeah, me too. I don't know though. I think it's probably gonna be like a single player. I didn't really see any other characters or anything.
Hey, someone points out a good point.
What's up?
Says SheWulf, notice Monster Hunter isn't on Switch.
Not that version.
Yeah,
yeah,
We
exactly.
haven't, well, that could change though. Just because it hasn't been announced yet.
No, they had that
doesn't
Monster
mean-
Hunter XX one, or the Double Cross or whatever it is, because you can do it with the 3DS and the Switch playing. They had
Yeah,
that
but
Monster
it doesn't
Hunter.
mean this one though still won't. Like, it could have a later date.
Don't
you
see that
never
running
know.
on the Switch.
They did announce some Monster Hunters before already, so I don't think they're getting this one anytime soon.
Yeah.
Because they already had their own trailer for a different one. It
Yeah,
looks
the
more
Double
anime,
Cross. Yeah.
and they have another one for the 3DS and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't foresee them getting this one.
Whatever floats their boat.
Yeah, cool.
Well, it looks badass. That's about it.
Yeah, it does look. It looks
I
really
liked
good.
it,
I
and
thought it
they
was
had
good.
Drakes.
Uh-oh.
She said drakes, not dragons. See that?
I did. Well, because I don't want
Guys-
to listen to Mike sit there and yell at me for another 30
What were you gonna
minutes.
say?
Guys,
Nice.
What's
do
up,
you
Nick?
guys think do you think that overall though the one of the problems with E3s, and this goes for everybody, and this is not really a fault of the people that are doing the shows like Microsoft or Ubisoft or Sony, do you think some of this I guess deemed disappointment is basically on us as fans? Because over the years, especially now with the growth of social media, like now we're starting to fill in blanks. We're starting to go with like supposed leaks. We're starting to go with like we're making up in our own mind shit that we kind of really want to see internally.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's just not coming. Like you think, I
Splinter
have
Cell.
to think that part of it is
Yeah,
on us
Splinter
because we want this stuff so bad. And it's not to say that it's not coming, because I fully suspect they're probably in the works on a Splinter Cell, but they may have been to the point where it's just like, we just don't have enough to show. If they don't have something they can impress you with, what's the point of bringing it, right? So it's just hyping something for the sake of saying, hey, man, we got the game, and that's kind of counterproductive. So
You bring up a good
that's all
point,
I'm
Newf. No, you bring up a good point, but there's also another aspect that I've kind of noticed this year is games were getting announced way before E3, like Shadow of War and a bunch of other games. They were showing trailers and, hey, this game's coming out. Why are you showing it like literally weeks before E3? Why are you
like
not saving it?
how much Call of Duty stuff did we get? Like
Yeah, they
back
have like
in
their
May?
own Destiny.
They both had their own like 30-minute streams or however long streams.
Yep.
Like they both literally went in depth, like Call of Duty and Destiny 2. Oh, and Shadow of War. Let's go all three. All went like full in depth of their games.
Yep.
Yeah, before
like,
even
why?
E3 came out.
Like the new Darksiders game, we got that announced well
Yeah,
before E3.
well before E3. And that's another game. Where was that at?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't we see that?
That's true.
Just it's crazy, man. Like I don't.
Some of it time, like simply because they do want to fit it into a certain schedule, and they just at the end of the day, obviously the first party stuff's got to come first because that's who they're representing, and then it's just hey, like if you're running your own show, obviously you're not going to get as much time, if any, because you have it on your own stage. Because like even the fact, like I said, all this hype around the Battlefront, the fact that wasn't shown in Sony stage, that was kind of a bit of an odd one as well. If you ask me, and I don't know if anybody knows as well, or I didn't notice it, but I didn't notice with Call of Duty that I didn't see any like the exclusive DLC stuff
Yeah, I didn't
advertised
see
after
that.
the game. Anybody notice that?
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
notice
it
that
wasn't
either.
like a big spectacle like they usually have. Like, oh my
Well,
god, this is Call of Duty or anything like that.
Yeah.
You saw what they did with Destiny, like right at the end is all these big screens, like this skin, this map, this blah. You know what
yes,
I mean? There's
exclusive
nothing for
content.
Call of Duty. It was just kind of weird.
I want to bring up another fact too that I know a lot of people out there don't really like indie games, but I do. But Sony did not show any, and I know like the first couple of years when the PS4 came out, developers were all like, "I love building games from an indie perspective on the PS4 platform and all that kind of stuff."
Yeah.
Where was any of those games? They
I didn't even
Yeah, they
think
used
about
to-
that
show.
until just
Wait,
now.
that's like their
Yeah, they
dream.
used-
Where's Dream?
Good call.
Yeah, they
like-
used to point that out before when they had them. They were like, look, we are for the developers and we
Yeah.
want to help this and that. And then last year and this year, I don't see any indies, actually.
We
Yeah.
didn't see Shenmue 3. We haven't seen anything with Dream. Like there's a few games that again we got last year
Yeah.
that they just did
Absolutely
not even
nothing.
bother to touch on, which I was surprised.
I was disappointed in a few things in the Microsoft press conference, but you cannot deny when they came out and said, we have 42 games to show you and 22 are console exclusives and all that,
That was
kind of
amazing.
stuff, and delivered in variety. You can't come out like Sony afterwards and not produce games and have games come out this year. That's just not good. Like, that's not good for a platform holder. Like, I don't know what Sony was thinking whatsoever. And like I said about the indies thing, like, why are you not showing those? I thought these guys loved building for your platform. This was really confusing and a really bad show. I think after we were done, like, of the old, wow, like that game looked really cool, and you go back and look at it, like, this was a really bad show for Sony, honestly.
Like, someone just says no Splinter Cell, and I know you guys have talked about several times. I would have even been happy to see Splinter Cell on Sony stage.
Yeah.
Like,
I was thinking about that too.
This isn't even just Sony. Yeah. This is quite a few of the other ones as well. Like, where are these games that, you guys keep hinting at? We just don't see them.
Yeah.
Maybe it just has something to do with the newer generation having a lot more detail to it. Maybe these games are taking a lot longer to put together, and that's why we weren't getting the showcase of games that we've heard rumored to be working on that we were expecting to see. Maybe they're not going to be there till next year. Maybe it's just a much longer development cycle now.
Well, I mean, I said that before, but everybody was like, oh, they develop for PCs and 4K textures anyway, so it shouldn't be any longer. But I'm like, well, where the fuck are the games at then? Like, I don't understand. Like, something has to be there.
I think there's a difference when you develop in 4K knowing that you're going to downscale it to optimize to 1080p versus developing in like 8K and then downscaling it to 4K.
Frederick made a great point. Xbox even showed more Japanese games
than
Sony did. And
that's kind
Agreed.
of surprising.
That Code game, the DBZ, like, that was on Microsoft stage. That's crazy good. Like, DBZ is a great fighter.
Dude,
like,
that's one of my must-haves from this year.
Japanese, MMO. Like, I don't know. It felt like something, again, guys, I was excited. I was really excited. I was more excited to go into Sony's show than I was for Microsoft's show. I'm going to be honest with that. Yeah. Because they had a lot of marketing deals for a lot of games, and I was excited to see.
And Microsoft, we thought was going to be pretty hardware heavy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we thought Microsoft was going to be very hardware Scorpio, which everybody knows I'm not big on hardware. I like the games. So I was more excited for Sony. And less than 60 minutes, I think you showed us a total of maybe 14 games.
17. I counted them.
Oh.
Can you believe that
Fox
shit?
Counted 17 games.
Oh
so
my
they have
god, I'm so
less
disappointed.
games. They have less games than Microsoft showed exclusives for their console. Like, that is unacceptable, Sony. I'm sorry.
And quite a few of them were multiplats. They weren't even exclusives.
So
Destiny, Call of Duty,
and
Monster Hunter, they're all...
We heard nothing about Final Fantasy Remake, although that was one of their big announcements they dropped early at the last E3. Hey, we're bringing this out. There was absolutely no word, no Shenmue, no nothing.
And you know what else? I really, really wanted to see the Resident Evil 2 remake that we've heard is getting.
Yes.
I was expecting to see that on the Sony stage. Like I forgot about that until just now, but I really wanted to see that.
You know what?
It's really...
Hold on. I just want to point out one thing. The Resident Evil thing, they showed this amazing freaking trailer for the pre-show and didn't even bother to show the DLC for Resident Evil 7 on the freaking actual Sony stage. Like, why wouldn't you show that? Like, that was amazing that you showed in the pre-show. Why wouldn't you show something like that? Like, and they can't say they don't, because they did that stupid VR Eagle crap they showed in the pre-show and then showed it in the actual VR stuff. So what, like...
That's what I said. I said in the pre-show they showed more games than they actually showed in the conference.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what they were doing. Again, where's your big titles? Where's the fuck is Battlefront? Where the hell is Gran Turismo? Like, these are your fucking, like, top games for this year.
Hellblades. This game's releasing in August, and we still have no gameplay, guys. Like, none. I'm really excited for this game, and I don't get it.
There's one huge game that was actually missing from the Microsoft the conference that totally everybody missed. Or at least I didn't dawn on me till after we kind of closed our thing. I have to go on because we're talking Sony here. But that zombie game that's big on PC. What's the name of it? It's really big.
H1Z1?
Yeah,
DayZ.
Oh, DayZ.
Okay.
Yeah, that was supposed to be coming out. Wasn't that supposed to be like in the preview
they've been
program
saying
or
that
some
for
shit?
like ever, and it still hasn't. I don't know
what's
what's
I don't think that would get announced, really, because that one is more of an... That would have just been in the indie reel. That wouldn't have been... I thought
that was supposed to be a PS4 game, though. Is that an Xbox game?
Wait, no.
Xbox.
DayZ... Wait, hold on.
I thought they had like H1Z1.
I thought...
Man, I could be wrong. I don't know.
She was looking it up? Okay. What's it called? You know how they announced beforehand?
Go ahead, Fox.
They do have an exclusive coming out this year. It's an Epic exclusive. They said it before the pre-show, or around the pre-show. Knack is coming out in September. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean...
Y'all excited for that?
Nothing.
I didn't play the first one, so I can't really say anything about Knack, but...
Hey, and how about No Crash? No Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, where the hell's
Crash.
Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, that's supposed to be releasing this
Coming
year.
out?
I think it's like next month.
Yeah.
Like within a month.
Yeah,
like,
what the hell?
They didn't
Yeah,
show
there's
any
also
of the
supposed to be
games.
the Jack and Daxter collection, which was leaked by
Yeah.
a retailer that was supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, there's another remaster I was looking forward to, but I'm not surprised it wasn't on the stage, and that's the Wipeout collection.
yeah,
I wanted
Wipeout
to see
collection,
that, but it's fine. I understand why they didn't show it. It's just a remaster. But I mean, I feel like they were missing a lot because I wrote my notes down, and obviously, like I said, 17 games, and it's all on one page. But for the Xbox, when I was writing all my notes, 2 pages full of games that I'm looking forward to. So that's a bit disappointing.
Yeah, I have to say I'm pretty disappointed in Sony's show, especially going in. And I say this all the time: keep your expectations in check. But I really believe that Sony was going to show a lot of these games off, and they just did not deliver. I mean, like, let's go into God of War. I thought that looked fantastic. I like what they're doing with the son and stuff. And we were talking about, like, it could be cool. Like, they do like the tale of 2 sons with like puzzles and stuff with him and his son. And I thought the gameplay looked phenomenal. But now, like, looking back on it, and Mike was talking to me after we ended the show, and he was like, "But did it really look that awesome?" And I'm kind of like, it looked awesome, but I kind of have to say it almost looked downgraded from last year.
What looked awesome about it to me was that it was a return to form for God of War as far as the play style.
Yes.
It was fast paced. He was putting combos together. That's what I wanted to see in God of War gameplay. But as far as the visuals compared to what we saw last year,
yeah.
it was. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was definitely not what we saw last year. The game, it looked like a God of War game. That's not a bad thing, but in the case of this God of War, it's not necessarily a good thing either, because what they showed off last year was so epic in scale and so finely detailed. I thought that was the PS4 Pro actual gameplay that we were seeing, and now seeing it this year, like I said, it looks a lot more like a God of War game, which, it's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing at the same time. It's in a very weird place for me right now. I think I want to get this game when it comes out in 2018, not this year, which was also disappointing.
Yeah. Well, Lewis in the chat, he's like, no one cares about E3 anymore. That's why EA left. And, maybe that's why they're showing these games like before E3, and maybe E3 doesn't carry the weight that it used to. I mean, it's kind of weird that they opened it up for like 15,000 people this year, and not really showing a whole lot from Sony anyway. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's just a weird year this year for E3. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely weird.
Yeah, but going into the next big one I wanted to talk about was COD. I thought COD looked fantastic. Like, that whole World War II thing, and they definitely updated the graphics a lot to go on these Xbox One X and PS4 Pro. I thought it was fantastic. I like the flamethrower stuff. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
we
that
used
was pretty
flamethrower. And Foxy pointed out they were in parachutes and stuff, the paratroopers and all that
No,
kind of stuff. What did you guys think?
Wasn't there a part where he used his trench shovel to like nail a guy in the back of the
Yeah, in
head
the
and
back.
like actually went through the helmet?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
crazy. I was like, oh.
There was some stuff in there, I'm not gonna lie, it reminded me of Battlefield 1, but I like that, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like you're gonna be in some trenches and stuff. A lot of what we saw was like campaign stuff, right? I don't remember any. We seen any
Flamethrower.
multi.
I saw a flamethrower.
Yeah. Don't they have a reveal of the multiplayer like later on this year? I want to say they had something like.
I wouldn't be surprised because obviously they didn't show it here, so yeah.
We definitely didn't see it.
No, but either way, it looked good. And yeah, like you said, campaign, so it looks really good. I'm digging it.
Yeah, me too. Anybody else on Call of Duty? Come on, you Call of Duty girl over there.
I can't. I'm gonna be like sitting there trying to wall run and crap.
It's
like
Sledgehammer.
I did.
I'm really
I'm
glad they
mad
didn't
at
have like a
Sledgehammer.
Rocketeer.
I know you were saying that. You're like, watch, there's gonna be a jetpack or something. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, no. Well, I was thinking like back in the 40s they had that comic book, The Rocketeer, and they made a movie out of it. I was like, they might get some like kind of weird like future sci-fi steampunk rocket backpack or something like that. So I'm glad we didn't see that.
That's DLC, bro. That's DLC.
I don't know. Like, I guess I'll give it a try. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Frederick, I totally agree too, man. Like, they have a 4K capable console, and they didn't even stream the stuff in 4K. Like, I don't get that either. Like,
He mentioned it in the beginning, and that's it. They didn't like talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, did you also notice how funny it is? Like last year, of course, it was like pro, and this year they hardly mentioned it. It was almost like like the fucking trial that you wanted to get rid of. You know what I mean?
No, Like
Yeah,
they
no
showed
I was
price
just going to
that-
say
nothing like-
price
They
drop.
showed pictures. They didn't even talk about their like new releases of like the gold and silver ones.
I mean, they touched base on the gold one, and it was like it's $249. But I thought there was like a week window or something, or a month or so, like for the sale for $249. I don't know. It was weird.
I don't know.
I have to go
Yeah,
back and
you
look
can
at
only
to be
get
sure.
it for. No, you're right. There's a temporary time where you can get it. Like, I forgot the date though.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at the conferences now, I think Microsoft's show was like stellar. Like even at $499, like yeah, I'm definitely on board for sure.
Yeah, no, like I said, I don't have a PS4, and I thought I was going to get one this year. But now the
Wait till next
Xbox
year.
One X is definitely in. I'll wait until next year to get a PS4.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But the
Yeah.
one thing I will say is that here's the difference. Like I commend Microsoft because they had more, and they certainly had more unique titles, a lot more gambles and risks this year than I've ever seen them do. Where Sony kind of played it safe, I guess is a good way to put it. They stuck with stuff they knew people would like. They had more of it.
Honestly,
At
I
the
don't
end
even
of the
think they
day,
played
like,
it
I still
safe, bro.
feel like
I don't even think they played it all. I think they got really fucking complacent this year and just expect whatever they were continuing to do just to do well. I mean, honestly, I think that's straight
Yeah.
up what it was.
But I find like overall, like what I'm trying to say is there's also like more games that they showed less games, but there's more games on Sony stage that I know I want to buy, as opposed there's a lot of games on Microsoft stage. I'm kind of like, it looks good, but I'm not sure. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could totally.
They
see
didn't
that.
hook me enough.
I'm
They
just-
didn't hook me enough on the Microsoft stage.
I'm still in shock that we saw more third-party content on the Microsoft stage than we saw on the Sony stage, considering the
For
marketing
how
rights.
much-
Consider the
I was
marketing
just
rights,
gonna
yeah.
say, for how much they have for marketing rights.
What they say,
that
like
was-
Right.
120 million a year for however long they're paying that shit for these games,
Yeah, it
and
was
literally
very,
you fucking
very
took no time.
lacklusting.
Like even Call of
Oh,
Duty
yeah.
was just a couple of minutes. Like
They just want the blue stickers at the stores. That's about it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean obviously that's all they wanted, but I mean oh man, I don't even know what to say, guys. Honestly,
They
I
rushed it like they didn't, almost like they didn't care. Like he walked out, he talked, he left. They
Well,
showed
but
a
the
couple things
beginning
and-
was so
good.
the beginning was so strong. Like they had that waterfall with all
Yeah.
that the like lighting going on.
Okay,
with it,
I'll tell you
and that
when it died.
introduction to Uncharted 4, and then it
After
just
after
VR?
the VR, that's when it died.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
it. After that, it was kind of like downhill. We knew what we were getting after that, and then we wanted more, and there was nothing there.
Yeah. We had Uncharted. We had Horizon Zero Dawn. What was it? The DLC. And what was
Yep.
the next one after it? Days Gone. Yeah, they had a
Gone.
really strong start. It was
Monster
like,
Hunter,
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus, Marvel vs. Capcom. Obviously, I said that shit looks awesome. And
Yeah,
then Call of Duty, and it went downhill after VR. I don't know.
We saw some Detroit, and then they ended it with Spider-Man, which was another weird thing. Like, why would you say, "Hey guys, it's been 60 minutes. Bye." Oh wait, I got Spider-Man for you too. Like, what do you,
That was my highlight, though. I'll give it out of the whole thing, which I like a couple of different things, like what I said, 3 or 4.
yeah.
Spider-Man was the best thing I saw that whole conference.
I'm like, yeah, but when he said like 60 minutes, I'm like, yeah, bro, you still got like 30 minutes to go. How about you bring out some more fucking games? Like,
Yeah, they should have.
yeah, I don't know.
shit.
Guys. Like, I want to go around because I think I don't want to sit here like for an hour and just bash on Sony the whole time, but I want to go around and just get your guys' final thoughts, and then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here and let everybody enjoy the rest of their night. It's getting pretty late, but who wants to go ahead and start? Let's start with SheWulf.
Why did you start with? I figured you'd start with Fox. So overall, there was quite a few games that I was happy to see, and I enjoyed to see. You definitely gave us some games that a lot of people are excited for. I was really happy for Destiny 2. I was really happy for Monster Hunter, and Detroit was really happy to see that. But in all, I was disappointed. I really wanted to see gameplay from Hellblade. That was one of my that is my most anticipated game from Sony, and to not get to see any gameplay, I was pretty disappointed in that. And then of course, I really wanted to know what the new game from Sucker Punch was going to be, and didn't even get to see that. So I was,
Yeah.
I'm kind of on the fence. I enjoyed some things that they showed, but then I was also disappointed.
What do you give the score for Sony?
Honestly, I don't.
Out of 10.
I don't want to give a score.
Come on, you gotta give a score. We did for Microsoft. We gotta be fair.
All right. Well, if I have to give a score, like I guess overall, probably a 7.5. Only because like there was a lot you should have shown that you didn't.
Fair enough. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Foxy, what about you? What did you think overall of Sony?
Oh my god, it was straight up no, I'm kidding. It was a decent show overall. I think
I think the presentation.
I was Yes, overall it was really good. I mean, the stage was dead, besides some dudes hanging off a freaking ceiling. The stage was dead, but I like what they showed on screen, which was really nice. But it wasn't wow factor enough for me to go out of my way and buy my own PlayStation, because as some people know, I use my brother's PlayStations,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't make me want to go out and get my own and
Right.
be greedy about it. So yeah, overall decent. A lot of good games, but no release dates, and then some third party, which I'm gonna play on Xbox. So overall, I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Nice.
I
Yeah, it
don't
was
actually
decent.
sit that close to my mic. Like, there's literally, it's not that close to me. They hear breathing. It might be from you.
Rawr.
He sits like directly in front of it. It's not me. Why am I
GKB
always
likes
going
to
for
deep throat his
everything?
mic.
It's your fault.
In case you guys
Always
didn't
your
know.
fault.
Like, there's an echo, and I get blamed when I'm not even in the hangout. When breathing, I'm not even, like, literally, there's, like, a whole thing here. I'm not near it.
What about you, Mike? What'd you give Sony?
You know, I really liked what we saw. There was a lot of good stuff in the conference. A lot of stuff that I wanted to see, like the gameplay
gotta
for
say,
God
like,
of War and Spider-Man.
I've asked you guys like all, and you're kind of like hesitant to start talking. Like,
Well, I've been trying to
No,
trying to
it's
think
cool. I
what
was
kind of a
just-
score I'm going to give Sony here, because like I feel like I'm going to get a lot of hate.
yeah.
They will.
Because okay, so I have to be fair, because I gave Microsoft a 7.5 because I thought they had a really solid conference, but there was no mic drop moment. So it was very successful. I loved what I saw, but there wasn't anything that pushed me over that edge.
Yeah.
I gave EA a 6 because I wanted to see so much more. Again, I liked what I saw from EA. I didn't think it was a failure in any way, but I wanted to see more. With Sony, I feel like the way I felt with EA and with Microsoft, there was no mic drop moment. I wanted to see so much more. I'm very happy with what I saw, but I have to go lower than what I gave EA, just because I feel like it wasn't as good as what I saw from EA. So I'm going to give Sony a 5.5, and I'm kind of hesitant to give it that, because I don't want people to think I'm giving Sony that score because I don't like Sony. I really wanted this to be a great conference. I was really excited to see this tonight, and I feel like giving it a 5.5 is like too low. It shouldn't be like that.
No, it
But
shouldn't be.
I just think E3 overall this year was kind of overwhelming. So from that aspect, like nobody really knocked it out of the ballpark. So I'm only giving Sony 2 points less than I gave Microsoft, but it lands at a 5.5 out of 10 for me.
Nice. What about you, Newf?
Well, I'm going to be a bit more generous on my score, but let's put it this way, Sony, you can't keep pulling a Groundhog Day every year and then expect me to go, yeah, I love your show. I mean, there was lots of great stuff. Don't get me wrong. I love what we saw. Like I said, we actually saw more gameplay of some really big titles that I'm freaking stoked about. Basically, they gave lots of gamers reason to pick up a PS4 or a PS4 Pro perhaps in 2018. Not so much in in 2017 overall. You know, like the biggest difference between both shows, if you want to compare the Microsoft to Sony, is Microsoft surprised the hell out of me on a lot of things. Maybe there wasn't quite as many mic drop moments, but Microsoft really surprised me because they brought a lot of shit I had no idea was coming out. Like all those titles, I was like, never heard of it. Now, some people say that's the negative, but I think it's a positive when you're finding out about new games that we never heard leaks, never had no suspicions of. I like that shit. That's why E3 is exciting, is to be surprised. Be surprised. That's what E3 is about. Not about fucking showing the same shit you had last year and the year before and everybody's leaked half it. That, like, didn't you just show, like GKB, I call it. I said they're going to start with Uncharted, and basically from there it read like a script. You know what I mean? It was almost like you could call it right by the nail, with exception like Monster Hunter and Shadow of Colossus remake. Almost everything was almost exactly what we expected out of Sony, and a lot of stuff that they didn't show. So honestly, I think it was a solid show. I'm not ragging on them. Like I said, I think they kind of played it by the book. And there were some things I think that they played based on what Microsoft did. Like, I think they really would have went with a price drop on the Pro had Microsoft nailed $399. But when they saw $499, they said, you know what? We don't have to drop it, at least not at this point. We'll just kind of see how this console shit plays out in the fall. So anyway, overall, guys, I'm done speaking with this. Solid show, not a blowaway show. And I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10.
Cool. For me, I feel much like the same of the rest of them. I went into Sony's show, and I'm going to be completely and utterly honest. I thought they were going to beat Microsoft from what we knew from third party and some of the stuff that we thought we were going to see at the show. I thought like Scorpio wasn't going to be, the big thing or anything. I thought Sony was just going to blow it out. They did not, to me. They played it very safe, like Newf said. They went out there and showed us a lot of stuff that we already seen, even though that was great gameplay. And I was excited about a lot of stuff because I am a PS4 owner. Again, I have to ding them for not showing dates, just like I did Microsoft. I think it was an okay show. At the end of the day, though, I came away pretty disappointed, and I'm gonna have to say I give them a 6 on this one. I think they could have done a lot better and showed off a lot more stuff.
Bro.
Being a 60-minute show, like I don't know what you're doing, and I agree there was no drop mic moments at all in this show. So, yeah, giving them a 6.
I seriously overall so far of E3 in general, I almost give it a 7. Like a lot of like Bethesda, yes, you gave us release dates for like all your games, but some of that you didn't even need to do a conference. Like you literally had 2 major games that people were really excited for.
Yep.
So that was like Ubisoft. I'm not even gonna go and talk about you. Like I don't even know what to say about freaking Ubisoft. Like some of that was just like pointless.
But you like Assassin though.
I like Assassin, but we had already seen it so much previously.
Yeah, it was like
True. You're right.
Yeah,
so it was kind of like, all right, we got the point. Like that's another one. Showed so much of it before E3 that like, what was the point of even showing it again?
Yeah.
Like,
I want to say thank you so much to the community. You guys like rocked out with us all weekend long. You guys jammed with us and even spent like Bethesda night with us. We were like so late and you guys came out and rocked out with us. I really appreciate it. I want to thank all the guests. We also had on like the Bethesda, Ubisoft and stuff to come out and hang out with us as well. Yeah. I want to thank all the Console Corner crew. You guys rocked out and been super flexible to hit all these shows for
Hell
E3.
Yeah.
It was super exciting and a super good time. I want to let everybody know tomorrow's Console Corner. We're still doing that show. It's going to be a recap of everything. We're going to talk about the highs, lows, and everything, and talk about some of the cool games out there that we're super excited for. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to let everybody shout out what they got going on and all that kind of stuff, and then we're going to let you guys enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy some games. So go ahead, SheWulf.
So hopefully I'll be starting streaming on Wednesday. So hopefully I'll be streaming Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You can find me on Mixer at xSHEWulfx with a U, not a no. It's the same for Twitter and Xbox Live. We'll also hopefully be streaming at night, me and GKB doing our co-stream, so make sure you guys...
That backlog grind.
And that will be on GKB's at mixer.com/GKBX, so make sure you tune into that as well. And then, what else? I think that's really about it. Of course, there's always, the Gamers Knows Best YouTube channel where you can find me doing videos here, so yeah.
Absolutely. Foxy.
Oh my god, it was awesome. Had a great weekend with you guys. Today was pretty good. Not amazing. Like yesterday was amazing for me. So obviously my highlight of this whole thing we've been streaming this whole time, Xbox. So Xbox for me killed it. It was amazing. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to all those games. I think I talked about it on Twitter a lot. So if you guys want to know about all that good stuff, follow me on Twitter at LadyFoxFire. All the description all the details are going to be in the description. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Mixer. Have a YouTube channel if you guys want to follow me on there. It was great. Thank you to everybody for joining us. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys again tomorrow for Console Corner. Maybe do some Foxy deals.
Yeah, Foxy deals.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody who's going to watch this.
By the way.
Yeah, send it to me, girl, on Discord. And by the way, you can talk to us on Discord, of course. We can chat about E3 on there as well. So, yeah, good night, everybody.
Sweet. What about you, Magic Mike?
Yo, what's up, everyone? You can all catch me here tomorrow night on Console Corner with the rest of the panel here. Other than that, Magic Mike is going to crash and burn after this E3.
Yeah, for real.
All I got to say is, man, I really wanted to try to get a ticket to E3 this year, and now I'm kind of glad I didn't because, it's been fun, but it hasn't been the greatest E3, and I can't wait to talk about the whole recap tomorrow.
It's so disappointing, man. I thought this E3 was going to be fantastic. Anyway,
yeah.
Newf, what you got going on, bro?
First off, I got to say, yes, thanks to everybody in the chat. And again, I want to thank you guys, people on the panel here, GKB, SheWulf, Lady Fox, Magic Mike, you guys are fantastic. You're my family now, and like I said, I'm always excited. This was an awesome last couple of days. A little bit long at times, but awesome all the same. So thank you guys. Thanks everybody in the chat, like I said, for hanging out with us. Thanks to our awesome guests. We had Stick Figure, we had UK Dazarus, we had Crap Gamer on here. Who else did we have? Timidos. Yes, can't forget Timidos. So yeah, we had some great guests with us. So thank you for those guys showing up and helping us out with their commentary. And yeah, you know, like it was a good E3, but a little underwhelming. There wasn't a whole lot of drops. I'd say about the only thing that really dropped around here was me doing a deuce after a good burger, but we got so that's about it, guys. Like I said, all the links down below. Go find me, add me, let's play some games. I'll hear you tomorrow night on the console corners. We kind of do an E3 wrap up, I'm sure, and maybe any other news that comes out. Obviously we'll weigh in on what sort of Nintendo shows through the Treehouse tomorrow.
We'll
so it should be another good show. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. We love you all. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Over to you, GKB.
Sweet. Make sure you go follow us on Mixer as well. We got the Mixer team. We got Crap Mooch, all these awesome people on there as well. Thanks so much for, I went and checked my Mixer, and you guys, like, subscribed the hell out of me. So I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. I'm GKB, a.k.a. The Governor. You can find me on Gamers Knows Best on YouTube and Twitter. Thank you again so much. I cannot thank the community enough for hanging out with us this weekend. You guys are fantastic. We love you so much. And we will see you tomorrow on the console corner as we always do on Tuesday.
Time.
Yep, at the regular time. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night. Good night or good morning.
Good night, good evening, and good night.